Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to play smarter in Fortnite. I'm going to be talking through this gameplay and fully explaining the parts that I played really smart in, or the parts that I really need to improve. Just because every single game you go into, you're going to make mistakes, and pretty much everyone's going to do this every single game at some part, and some mistakes are a little bit bigger than others. Some could just be pretty small and really don't do too much, but there can be others that might even cost the game. So I'm going to be talking over this gameplay and give you guys some tips when it comes to playing smarter. And before we get into the video, I'm going to be giving away a free battle pass for season 10. And if you guys want a chance to win a free battle pass, all you guys have to do, drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and as well subscribe to my second channel. I post a ton of really good content on there, so make sure you guys do subscribe, turn on my post notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And if you guys would like to support me as a creator in the item shop, all you have to do is go over to the item shop, go into the bottom right hand corner, support a creator, and type in my code. My code is Young Humor. Type it in and you guys will have me supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I have actually two gameplays. The first gameplay I dropped 15 kills, and the second one I dropped 12. So I'm going to be talking through these gameplays real quick and just really explain the parts that I played very smart in, so you guys can improve as well, because every single game you go into in Fortnite, it's always going to be a little bit different. You're never really going to run into the exact same situations over and over again. They are going to be a little bit different because there's just so many different things you can use in this game. When it comes to weapons, when it comes to smoke grenades, you have stink grenades, you have impulse grenades. There's so many different things in this game, and on top of that, people have different play styles and can play very differently. Then you also have the factor of how many materials the other player has, and then also their loadout, their weapons. So there's just so many factors, so it never really is the exact same situation over and over again, but there is going to be some similarities here and there, because you're going to run into players who you can just tell play a little bit more aggressive, players who play a little bit more passive, like to build more, and typically those players are going to be doing the same type of things. So I want to talk about the few things that I did in this video that worked out really well, and also some of the things that I didn't do as well, or maybe shouldn't have done. And obviously I ended up winning the game, so I didn't do anything that led me to get knocked or anything like that. But at this exact same time, there is going to be a few situations in which I made just tiny mistakes, and mostly I played very well. So starting out, when I first fought those two players, I went from the top, and obviously just from that angle, most players would run up top anyway. But just to give you guys a quick example, if you take this in the same situation, and I would have ran out in the back door, and I would have walked right in front of the two players, then I would have to fight both of those players walking right in the door looking at them. And at the exact same time, if I would have went up top, which I did, I come in through the back and I was able to get easy shots on them. And that can really be such a difference, because just how you challenge a gunfight could make all the difference in the world versus the players you're going against. Because I could be going up against some of the worst players in Fortnite, but I could still potentially lose. Even if, like, say if it's a 1v4, you're going up with some of the worst players in Fortnite. Even though they're not as good, maybe you're 10 times the player they are, it doesn't even matter, because if they're in front of you, they all have weapons. It could be very easy for a lot to get shots on you, and you know, you don't have as many options. But if you come from a different angle, maybe you come from a high ground standpoint, maybe you go around the building, or whatever the case may be, you can actually catch them off guard, shoot them in the back, and you're going to have such a much better advantage in that fight. So here I am challenging the next fight. I have about 9 kills. I kill the first player, and the second player gets killed by my teammate. And at the exact same time, there's going to be another team that's going to be rushing in. So I played a little bit slower, only picked off one of them, and then we just rushed to the next zone because they were trying to fight us in the zone. We just took the slipstreams, and then we were by the reboot vans. So we are about to challenge the next team. I noticed that there's going to be a team in front of me right outside of the zone. They just get out of the fight, so they're going to be maybe possibly low in HP. But when I took a shot at them, they actually weren't. So they got over heals, which means they probably have a ton of shield because they just got done fighting the other team. So I want to play a little bit more aggressive, because I know at this point in the game they're going to have a ton of shield. So there's no point of just trying to take chip damage at them. It's not going to do anything. I'm just going to shoot them once or twice. They're going to build a wall, pop off their heals, kills, throw their chug splashes, and it's just going to be a long fight. So I went for a rush. They end up running away, and at this point we're just going to be rotating to the zone, and that's one thing you always want to make sure about, because I've had so many gunfights where even though it wasn't a bad challenge per se, it cost me because the zone ended up coming in and I didn't have a launch pad, or I wasn't next to a slipstream. Because I think if you have either a launch pad or a slipstream, it really doesn't matter when you challenge the team. It doesn't matter if the zone's coming in, the zone's all the way across the map. As long as you have either a slipstream you're right next to, or at least close to, or you have a launch pad or something you can get across the map very quick with, you can really challenge any player at any point, and even go for some storm pushes if you want to push for those extra kills. Generally speaking, that's not the best thing to do, but you can push for the extra kills, and it really won't be that bad of a decision. And so since I had this guy's teammates knocked, I decided I'm going to rush on this player because right now it's going to be a 2v1. I might as well just go all in, and at the same time, I don't want to drag this gunfight. I want to be very quick, kill this player as fast as possible, which is just going to be the smartest decision I can make. As soon as this guy lands, me and my teammate are going to W-key this player and just do whatever we can to kill him very quickly. For whatever reason, he jumps on the zip line and leads for a very easy kill. So I know that guy's teammate's down, and I also killed the second player, so I know that team is out of the game. So now we're just focusing on the last people in the game, and I know there's going to be a team in front of me, but there's also going to be a team to my right, which I have to be careful of. So I've had so many times where even when people are launching in the air, you can hit them for a lot of damage. There's so many times where you can hit players who are launching through the air for like 100 damage, or even a lot more. But the thing is, you have to risk, because if you're shooting people out of the air, generally speaking, you're going to be standing still because you're trying to hit your shot, trying to line up your shots. You want first shot accuracy, so you're not going to be moving. And in a situation like that, especially at the late part of the game, there's going to be a lot of different people trying to snipe from different directions, because I had a team to my right. So even though I would have peeked up and went for shots and probably would have hit a lot of shots on the guy above me, I could have gotten sniped from a different angle. So the best way to go about it is the more aggressive you play, the better off you be for the most part. Because a lot of times if you end up playing too slow, you're just going to get sniped or third partied. And just because right here I played very quickly, rushed that player, I didn't have to worry about getting sniped, getting shot at from any other direction. So we made it for a very easy one-on-one kill. And since I killed that player very fast, it's going to be a 2v2, and we have perfect positioning, but they do have a baller and a geyser right next to them. Unfortunately, they didn't use the geyser. Most people would use the geyser and just kind of play a game of cat and mouse and run around. But since I'm on high ground, I'm going to keep it, and since I know this player is low, I almost 100% sure this guy's going to try to go to the geyser and try to like dip around, try to run away. So I made sure that, and you have to be aware of that too, because a lot of people are going to try to run away. And this is just something I noticed, even if they have an advantage, even if it's like a 2v1, I've had a lot of situations where people just wanted to run away. And so the best way to counter that is you just have to play a lot more aggressive. You have to understand if there's going to be slipstreams nearby, because you can be in a gunfight for a really long time, but the second you even tag them for like 100 damage or do any sort of significant damage on them, they're going to go immediately to the slipstream, and then you have to chase them for however long, and they might end up getting away, which is super annoying. So when you get a player low, you generally speaking, you want to play as aggressive as possible, so they don't try to run away, and then also at the same time they don't get up all of their heals. So that could be another really smart decision, and usually how I play, and it works out very, very well. So I end up knocking two players right in front of me, and I'm shooting at the player that's gliding through the air. Unfortunately, bloom is really bad. I only hit it like 1 or 2 times, but I had a really good angle and positioning in this fight, because when I came into the gunfight, I came in for a very good third party, was able to kill 2 players very easily, get shots on the guy on top, and also since the guy's down here, I got a few shots on them. I want to play very aggressive, and one thing I noticed and you have to be aware of is when you're playing aggressive and if you want to rush in someone's box, you do have to be careful when it comes to traps. And one thing you have to really consider, especially for those of you guys who play on controller, when you're going in someone's box, it can be very difficult, because a lot of times if you're pickaxing or maybe trying to spray into their box, by the time you get into your box with your assault rifle, you could be low on ammo with that weapon. So if they do place a trap, really the best way to go about it when it comes to those of you guys who are on controller, unless you already know you have your gun out and you can shoot the wall very easily, is just to walk to the other side and stick to it. Otherwise, I've had so many times where I've switched to the wrong weapon, and if you even switch to the wrong weapon even for like half a second or like a quarter of a second, it's too late. The trap is going to go off and you're going to get hit for 150 damage, and unless you have max HP, you're going to end up dying in that situation. So the best way to go about it when you're W-king in someone's box is a lot of times when they place traps, unless they place double traps, you really just want to run to the other side, and at that point you have to destroy the trap. But the thing about controller players, you can't just switch to your third inventory slot, especially because if you're switching between weapons really quickly, you don't really have time to think about what's in your inventory. You have to destroy the wall right away, or otherwise the trap's gonna go off. So for those of you guys who play on controller, the best way to go about rushing players from a box perspective, if someone's camping in a box, the best way to go about it is just to run to the opposite side instead of trying to destroy the trap right away. And that's just what I found works best, because I've had so many times where I died just because I switched out the wrong gun, or I just wasn't able to shoot out the trap in time. Maybe I had an AK, which is horrible against walls. So that's what I would recommend doing, and it works very, very well. And with that being said, that's a wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.